Right, welcome back to Fixing with Friends. I'm your host, that guy you know, and today, unfortunately, I have some bad news for you guys. So, I was about 10 hours through editing the video that would have been released today, and then I got the news about YouTube's terms of service changes that are coming. And I definitely lost motivation to do editing, and I wasn't sure whether or not I would even do it ever. I'll run through everything and then give you what our options are and see what your guys' thoughts are on everything. So if you haven't heard the news, you can check out this Forbes article. I'll put the link down in the description. It covers things fairly well. Basically, YouTube's new terms of service state that any video on YouTube will have ads on it. Those of you familiar with YouTube will know that creators only get compensation if they're part of the YouTube Partner Program. Previously, that meant that once you hit a certain threshold of subscribers and views, you could choose to monetize your videos. And also, it stops you from making live videos until you've hit that threshold. As I've mentioned before, we're not interested in having ads in our videos. We don't want that for you. It muddles the content. Personally, I'm okay with watching a video if it has ads at the beginning or at the end or both, which was how, anyway, we'll get into that later. But whether or not we're paid for them is kind of irrelevant. We, for our channel, do not want ads in our videos or on our videos. To be clear, YouTube is well within their rights to make whatever rules they want for their platform. And we are well within our rights to tell them to f*** off and leave the platform. So we might do that. So far it seems that it's only going to be implemented in the United States. It's probably a sort of trial and error sort of thing. The best thing we could do right now is just voice displeasure with it, and if they comes time to implement it, pull stuff off so that they see there's some sort of repercussion for this sort of action. But again, they're allowed to do that, and it's not unreasonable in some respects that they would like some compensation for hosting the platform. They are, however, already making money off of the platform. But again, it's built entirely off of the backs of people who have created content, well, for most part, for free distribution. So for all the smaller content creators like us, we are providing this for free, just as they are. And the reason YouTube is so popular is that the variety of content is there. And the variety of content is there because people have no cost. Well, we have a large cost, functionally, to putting videos up. It takes a lot of time. It takes camera equipment, even crappy old camera equipment. It takes editing software, and for us, it takes money to actually, like the Mustang we just got, invest in this, even though we're doing it for you guys, not for the money. The individual investment on the part of those people is a lot higher than YouTube is, because how much is a cloud service for a month? Like, I mean, for a huge cloud server, you could spend $100 a month. But just for example, say we were paid minimum wage, wherever you are. Say it's $10, say it's $15, say it's $10. Let's say minimum wage is $10, which I think is undercutting it even in some places in the States. But say you put 10 hours into the video. That's 10 hours in one video. That's way less than what I put in, but in that itself, that 10 hours for wages for themselves is then equal to the contribution YouTube is doing for that entire month. It's more than that, because for a company as big as Google, they can make, like, the cost per gigabyte of hosting is next to nothing. It just is. Anyway, so the pitfall YouTube will almost certainly run into is that if ads are on everything, people are going to be disinclined to add new content. It's a bit of a competitive advantage for other small YouTubers who are interested in becoming monetized, part of the YouTube Partner Program, to have no ads, just like everyone else did when YouTube first started. Let's start there, I guess. So I've been using YouTube, I think, since 2007 is when I uploaded my first video. I think YouTube was started in 2005. It's been a long time anyway. So I've seen the changes all along the way, and at the beginning you could definitely, content, if you recall, was fairly garbage, which is what my first videos actually were just satire of the people making videos on YouTube. But so over the years, you know, when they first put ads on, they're like, okay, don't worry guys, it's only at the beginning of the video, and it's only for 5 seconds. There's only one ad. It's okay guys, it's skippable. And then it became unskippable ads, but they're only 5 seconds. It's okay guys. And then it was, oh well, there's ads inside the video now. Oh no, it went up to 15 seconds first, didn't it? It's only 15 seconds, but it's skippable. Don't worry guys. And then it was, okay, now we're gonna put in unskippable ads, but it's only at the beginning. Don't worry guys, it's fine. And then it started being ads in the middle of the video, but there's only one. And now you can have like 8 or 10 ads within your video. Ad breaks, 2 ads at a time. And those ads can be, like, some of them can be like 10 or 30 minutes long. Like, there are absurd length ads. Yes, some of them are skippable, some of them aren't. They're going to keep doing that until someone says, no, this is ridiculous. It's like Netflix and their big-brained idea of, you know, if we keep increasing the prices, we can make more money. And as you've seen with their user base and the competition that they've allowed by doing this, and by making such incompetent decisions, they've lost a lot of subscribers to the competitors. So YouTube, you know, users and creators have had a lot of problems with the platform over the years, and that's everything from the censorship, the preferential promotion of bigger name people. When the big news companies started joining, and even now, YouTube was promoting them over their existing creators. And so that's ruffled some feathers. And then there was the adpocalypse thing. If you can search that on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find lots of details if you don't know what I'm talking about. And just all the changes they've done over the years, issues with transparency and their unwillingness to have any sort of discussion with creators. With all of that, as it stands right now, if there was another decent option for video hosting, people would just leave immediately at the drop of a hat. That was before these terms of service changes. And they're just pushing people off of the platform. And then there's no platform to sell their stuff. People can go back to doing what we were doing before, which is hosting your own websites. It does cost money, but I would rather pay that little bit than have, you know, a several billion-dollar company profit off of the work that we're doing with no benefit to us or to you.
So when I said that YouTube is within their rights to put whatever rules they want, that is true. There are, however, some legal limitations that they're going to run into doing this. Ironically, it has to do with copyright, which, for those of you who have probably been watching any YouTuber, copyright strikes and the handling of copyright on YouTube is absolutely insane and heavily favors the people who own the copyright. Now, with this rule, they'll run into some potential copyright issues in that with terms of service changes, they need to announce to people that the change is coming, because it's a contract, but there's still property owned by other people on their platform. YouTube, you can't just claim ownership of property, and if you did, immediately there is a legal challenge. And that's similar to what we're looking at now, in that if they're monetizing your content without informing you prior to that, they can run into problems. So if this change gets implemented and a YouTuber doesn't go on the platform or see the new terms, they can't agree to the terms. And so YouTube, in order to get around that, would either have to not apply the ads to those videos for the YouTubers who haven't seen the terms, or simply delist them, both of which are okay for them to do. Will they do either? I don't know. If they don't, again, they could run into some legal challenge. But the other problem, and this will affect a very large number of YouTubers, even those who demonetized a video but are part of the YouTube partner program, is that sometimes, and for us especially, because we didn't plan to ever monetize these videos, is to use music and things other creators made also for free. And those have copyright limitations. YouTube itself is very limited in what copyright limitations you can apply to your videos. However, to the original content, it still is there. So some of the music, you can look back through our videos, has copyright protections in that, say, for example, it's specified non-commercial use. As soon as YouTube puts this into place, our videos would become an infringement upon their copyright protections by Google's decision, not ours. Now, we would potentially become liable because you could argue that it was our decision to leave the videos there, and that's true. Or we could, take the music off, which all of these are options, but it takes time. So anyway, those are the challenges YouTube might be running into with this. And honestly, with a lot of their other issues, like we don't have a contract with them, but those in the YouTube Partner Program, they do have a contract. There is exchange, and part of the issue is YouTube's been doing a lot of unilateral changes to the contracts, and they basically rely on the fact that YouTubers are small and numerous, but they don't work together. And so if they did, they could dispute a lot of the changes that have occurred over the years, because there's, like with Adpocalypse, things that fundamentally change their agreement cost people money. And because of that, there's damages that can then be sought in court. Whether or not they would get them, huge variance of dependence depending on countries and whatnot. But anyway, we can get into that in a different video.
So honestly, it doesn't really make sense, this move with YouTube, because it's in such a precarious position in terms of PR with its users and even the public with some of the scandals they've had. And this move is pushing its user base away from all of the other features they've added, or revenue streams they've added. So the movie rentals, the YouTube Music, the YouTube Premium app. I think you can even buy videos on YouTube now. Any sort of YouTube merchandise they get a cut from. All of that is at risk by such... Anyway, so what can YouTubers do about this? Well, the first is a class action lawsuit, again on copyright infringement, as I've talked about. Maybe they win, maybe they don't. Who's to say? But even an impending lawsuit can have influence over things like this. The other option is, as a consumer, a viewer, creator, voicing your concerns to YouTube. Chances are they won't listen. So the other thing is, as a consumer, you get to decide as a consumer what you buy, what you support. And that would be, moving to another platform, pulling your videos off, or at least delisting them if you wanted to in the meantime, just to see if they follow through with this. Before the terms of service change was even announced, we uploaded all our videos to Facebook, which is an up-and-coming platform, It's been growing quite a bit. It's Facebook as a company isn't my favorite, but as a platform, it does the job. We ourselves also have videos on DriveTribe, which is a bit of a ghost town now because of their own platform decisions without regard to how the users would take it. But these things matter to users. Before this happened, we were teetering about whether or not we used YouTube. It's a modest, very modest sized platform as it stands, just because it's kind of awkward to use. And also it has some interesting, some questionable content on it, but you know, you watch what you want to watch and don't want what you don't want to watch. Then the next option is do nothing, which, as we've seen in the past, you know, YouTube's just going to keep packing in ads on top of it, even if they say it's only going to be one ad or whatever right now. History has demonstrated otherwise. History with them specifically, even. So the last one, which is a little hilarious, is that YouTube has stated that they won't put ads on videos that aren't advertiser friendly. So if you want, we can all easily make not advertiser friendly content. So we can, you know, throw some lots of coarse language in there and we can definitely make the content more inappropriate. And if you guys are down, we'll do it. But the other thing is, because of how ridiculous YouTube is with their demonetization, I mean, it's just, you know, just mentioning keywords for controversial topics. Like, I don't know if you're aware, but back in March to May or something, YouTube wouldn't let you talk about COVID-19 without it being demonetized, unless you were some big company. So yeah, we can throw in words like Vic Mignogna, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, blah blah blah, and no monetization. So we just get a stack of these unacceptable topics, we just toss them in at the beginning of the video or throughout the video, and we'll be good. We don't have to comment on them at all, we just have to make mention of them, and solid. And then there's maybe listing them as 18+, which if everyone does, guess what, YouTube? You're going to have to go through and manually pick which ones are and which ones aren't 18+, because users will just say, oh, well, if all the content's been listed as 18+, I'll just choose to watch the 18+ stuff. You can't hide it from everyone if all the content is like that, or else, again, no one uses the platform. So, and then the last thing is, because it's not everywhere yet, it's just coming out in the US, is that you can change the region your videos are uploaded from, or you can move to another country, or there are VPNs and proxies and whatnot. Anyway, that's it. I don't know what you guys think. Let us know. And I'll see you guys soon, hopefully, when I don't know. I'm not really motivated to do more editing, but I'll do more editing at some point. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and finish uploading the episode this week. It's gonna be a long one, and I'll see you then.